All right, a lot of work to do on this question. It's asking us to do some definitions, define anion and cation. Then it's asking us a conceptual question. Do we lose protons or do we gain or lose protons or electrons in order to form ions? Another question then, what atoms make ions with the following charges? +1, +2, -1, -2, and -3. And then the last thing is to name one atom that forms a +3 ion. So let's do anion and cation. Cation, of course, an ion is anything with a charge, and anion and cation are the two possible flavors of charges. Cation is something that has a positive charge, and an anion is a chemical species with a negative charge. All right. Now, here's an important theoretical conceptual question. Do atoms gain or lose protons, or do they gain or lose electrons to form ions? Well, don't forget, if we got out our periodic table, that the atomic number, whatever the atomic number is, hydrogen is atomic number 1, that tells us how many protons there are. So if I lose or gain protons, then I really am changing what atom I'm talking about. So we don't ever really refer to losing or gaining protons unless we're specifically, very specifically talking about a type of chemistry that is for general chemistry called nuclear chemistry. So when we think about ions and specifically, in gaining or losing electrons, that's how we prefer to think about whether when something becomes positively charged, it must have lost an electron. And when something becomes negatively charged, it must have gained an electron. So again, which one do we think about? We always think about gaining or losing electrons and not protons. All right, what atoms make ions with the following charges? So again, I would say let's refer to our basic periodic table, because the periodic table will help you predict which atoms form what ions based on their position in the periodic table. It's pretty straightforward. In group 1, we form +1 ions. In group 2, we form +2 ions. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're not going to mess around until we get to group 15. Group 15, so group 1, group 2, this is +1, this one is +2. Group 15, which is somewhere over here, they're going to form -3. Group 16 forms -2, and group 17 forms -1. So if you think about it, well, before I get to that, let's do the next one. Which one atom that forms a +3 ion? Well, aluminum would form a +3 ion. Aluminum will form aluminum 3+. Boron would be another one, boron 3+. And so if we think about it from this perspective of the periodic table, it goes like this. And let's see if I can draw it on this smaller periodic table. +1, +2, skip these, +3. We don't think about group 14, but then it's -3, -2, -1, 4. So this is 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Of course, I didn't quite have enough room to draw it all spread out. But again, group 1 +1, group 2 +2, then skip up to group 13. The two atoms over here, boron and aluminum, will do +3. We don't really think about group 14 doing anything, but then we go -3, -2, -1. Okay.